We now cross over to Georgetown, Guyana, where RISE correspondent Rotus Oddiri is on standby to give us an update on the 2023 Africaribbean Trade and Investment Forum. If you can hear us, Rotus, thank you for being on a Newsday this afternoon. Can you give us the latest? It's day one. What are the expectations from the Trade and Investment Forum?
All right. Good afternoon to you, Shaitan and Hawa. I think we're about 5 hours behind Lagos here in Georgetown, Guyana. Already, there's been a lot. We've heard from three major officials already. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation, Honorable Hugh Hilton Todd, here in Georgetown. We've also heard from Professor Benedict Orama, President of the Board of Directors at the Africaribbean Bank. And as we speak, Dr. Carla Barnett, she is the Secretary General of the CARICOM states, that's the Caribbean Community of States. She's speaking right now. So we had to jump out of here to quickly talk to you right after Professor Orama spoke. There's been a lot going on. Look, just as a reminder, this is the second investment forum, Africa-Caribbean Trade Investment Forum. The first one was in Barbados last year in September. This is now the second one here in Georgetown, Guyana. Shaitan and Hawa, this is all about boosting trade. Trade. How do we boost trade between the African continent and the Caribbean states? So the Africaribbean Bank, they're doing all they can to boost trade. You know about PAPS, the Pan-African Settlement System, which is supposed to allow for intra-African trade. Well, they're trying to bring that over to CARICOM as well, to where somebody in Guyana who is selling a product to somebody in Lagos can buy products in their local currency and to be settled in local currency between Georgetown and Lagos. So there's also the fact that they're trying to boost trade settlements. So they've approved, I think it's about $3 billion to boost trade between the Caribbean states and the African continent. They're also talking about raising about $1 billion in order for trade finance as well, because of the high levels of high interest rates that we're seeing now. So there's a whole lot going on. There's still a panel sessions that are going to take place. We're going to be looking at those panel sessions. They're going to be looking back on 2022 as far as the inaugural session that took place, the improvements that have been made since then, and then what to look forward to. But the key thing here, it's about trade. You know, when folks think about the Caribbean, we think holidays, we think beaches, we think coconut milk and all these other things. So what the Africaribbean Bank wants to do here is to think about, when you think about the Caribbean, you think about boosting trade. So we want, as of right now, I think by 2025, or look at 2020, I think the amount of merchandise trade exports from Africa to the Caribbean, about $60 million or so. They want to get that to $171 million by 2025, so an 80% increase. So it's all about boosting trade. So really nice atmosphere. First time being here. The weather's great. This is a vacation spot, but it's not about vacation. They want to boost other things between Africa and the Caribbean communities.
Oh yeah, Rotus, it looks like you're having a good time. It even looks like you've got a tan out there. Make sure you stick to work. We have learned that it's over 108 countries that are being represented there, with 22 heads of government. And of course, Nigeria is also going to be represented. We have a representative from President Bola Tinubu, who's expected to be giving a panel talk later on in the day, Doris Uzoka Anite. Now, it's supposed to be on creating a shared prosperous future. And just any more takeaways that Nigeria could be bringing home, any other individuals who might be speaking on our behalf during the conference, if you have that information available.
Yeah, look, great question, Hawa. In fact, I just ran into Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of the executive governor of Lagos State. He's sitting in the front row. I tried to snag him. I was like, he has to talk to us. He said he will. I hope he doesn't escape. Also, the group CEO of Access Holdings PLC, Mr. Herbert Wigwe, he's here as well. So there are a lot of big executives that are here from Nigeria. Also, as you mentioned, representative for the president. Shared prosperity is the theme. So everybody that's here from Lagos State, Access Holdings PLC, every other big company that's here, all the other different countries, they are all here because when you boost trade and you increase your volume and value of trade, well, you increase your prosperity, right? That's what this is all about as far as everybody getting together. So it's about deals, deals, deals. What deals? You know, Access Holdings PLC, for example, is spreading its footprint across the African continent. Well, if Herbert Wigwe is here, then he's trying to spread his footprint as far as the bank is concerned with more deals in the Caribbean. If the executive governor of Lagos State is here, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Lagos State, as you know, by itself is would be the fifth largest country on the African continent. So Lagos is also looking at, okay, how can we get more deals going in the Caribbean? So it's really exciting. I mean, those panel sessions, as you've pointed out, will be talking about how we can increase those deals. Professor Benedict Arama, he's already talked about some other deals that are going to be signed. So that's what we like to talk about on the Global Business Report. It's all about deals, deals, deals. So just by the mere fact that we've got these really big business icons and heads of state that are here, it promises to be a pretty interesting day as far as the panel sessions are concerned, as far as those deals that are going to be. So we're going to be looking forward to hearing from them. But that's what it's all about, Hawa and Shaiton. More trade, more deals, more prosperity, and more flights to this region and around, as far as the African continent and the Caribbean is concerned.
All right, then, Rotus, I mean, you have spoken about how attendees will have the chance to meet high-level government officials, industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and investors, forming these strategic connections and collaborations. But when we look at the several key objectives of this event, the identification of bankable projects to provide access to market and investment information, encouraging strategic partnerships, as well as promoting economic diversification, is there any touch on the encouragement of technological innovation, knowledge exchange, and capacity building initiatives that have been set up for this program?
Yes, Shaiton. In fact, I mean, Professor Orama said so much. I need to go over the notes of his speech. There is a trade center that the Afri-Exim Bank is looking to set up in Barbados. They've already set up an office there, a contact center there. They want to build on that. So that perfect question, because that trade center, that African trade center that will be located in Barbados is going to have, is going to facilitate knowledge transfer, technology, innovation, and so on and so forth. So they're building that there. They also, the Afri-Exim Bank is saying it will promote an establishment of a CARICOM Exim bank. So this will be a similar facility for CARICOM. They said that if the CARICOM is interested, they will put up, I think about, what was his number? 44, 45, 49% equity. So they're going to put their own money in that CARICOM Exim facility in there as well. So those plans are being made to facilitate that. So it's all about building. If you want to build relationships, you've got to put boots on the ground, put your money where your mouth is to facilitate these things. And PAPS is going to be revolutionary. I mean, you both are business women, right? I've talked to you both about the different things that you're both interested in. And you can imagine the two of you sitting there wanting to pay for goods from here in Georgetown or in Barbados or in Jamaica, and being able to pay in Naira to get those goods over to you, which will then be converted to the local currency over here. By the way, speaking of the local currency, this place is pretty expensive. What is it now? The Guyanese dollar is about 200 to the US dollar. So we were at the mall yesterday, myself, Lumi, Okpayemi, and there was a bottle of water that we saw for 200 Guyanese dollars, which comes out to about $1. Convert $1 either in parallel market or official rates. That's almost 1,000 naira for a bottle of water. So anyway, back to what I was saying. PAPS is going to facilitate that, and it's going to improve trade relations. The Afri-Exim Bank, they're trying to put their money where their mouth is, put their boots on the ground to make that happen. So it's all happening here. It's going to be a very interesting couple of days.
And, the Caribbean, there are long-lost cousins, they're distant cousins, and we do have to, with the way things are going on in the world, we really have to buckle up and rely on each other as best as we can, especially when it comes to the exchange of money, goods, and ideas. But while you're out there, Rotus, can you let us know if there's any other things we should be interested in knowing other than what we've covered today? Briefly.
Well, I mean, anytime you come to this is my first time in Guyana. You always want to check out what makes the economy tick, what the people are involved in. And I mean, Guyana is only about 780,000 people. It's less than 1 million. Oil and gas is one of the tenets of their economy. Also construction. There are a lot of Toyota vehicles here. It's always interesting when you think about exports and how countries make money. You know, there are a lot of foreign vehicles. You know, there's a lot that's been going on in Nigeria as far as, you know, our House of Reps not patronizing made in Nigeria cars. So foreign vehicles very popular here. This currency is pretty strong, as I've said, 200. Also, what else? Tourism, of course. Tourism is massive here in the States. And I think as a result of the history, there's a very deep Indo-Guyanese culture here. So a lot of Indians are here. So when you go to the mall and you see, you know, the stores and what's being sold there, a lot of Indian culture. So when you come into Guyana and it's rich on diversity, as Hao was just saying now about relying on each other. So that theme of diversity, rich culture is what they're leveraging on here in order to boost that kind of trade. So more diverse trade, more volumes, more value, and the people here are very nice. And I love the accent. I can't quite imitate that Jamaican Caribbean accent. I'm working on it, but it's pretty nice over here.
Well, all right then. Thank you so much, Rotus. You really do seem like a kid in a candy store. I know you're having fun, and we're looking forward to your reports and your coverage, of course, of the Africaribbean Trade and Investment Forum. Thank you for your time and analysis here on Newsday.